Right, what we're going to now have a look at is something that I've actually been asked to do quite a few times. I've had quite a few requests for HTML tutorials. Because of that, this is what we're going to look at, actual HTML. Now when it comes to building websites, HTML coding firsthand is not the best way to go around doing it, but for efficiency and speed it's probably the quickest. We're going to later on hopefully look at using Dreamweaver, if I can be allowed to do that. So I'll have a look into that, see if I can get permission to be able to make tutorials for Dreamweaver. So what we're going to do, as I said, is we're going to look at HTML, and here's where we're going to start. You'll see in front of you, we've got a nice window open. I'm recording at a screen resolution of 800 by 600. You normally design web pages in that resolution because most people, or a majority of people, I would say, still use 800 by 600. I use 1024 by 786, just preferences in what screen resolutions you use. So when you're building a web page, that is one of the things that you need to take into consideration. You need to take into consideration that it works on different screen resolutions depending on what the user uses, and there'll be even screen resolutions above those. I don't know the exact numbers, but you can get 2000 by something, so you can get quite high screen reses. So you need to design your sites around that. That's enough of me talking about gibberish. Now we're going to have a look at actually doing some coding. I'm going to load up this first file. You can access all these from the website, and this is called Basic Structure. Now if I run this website, I'm going to shrink it down so that it fits in your window and you can see everything. Oops, that's my taskbar. You'll see that my basic website has no text, nothing. There's nothing on it. That's because this is to show you a basic structure. Now I'm going to view the source on this, and you click on View. As you can see, I'm using Firefox. It's the same thing in Internet Explorer. And click on Page Source, and it will show you the page source. And the thing I like about Firefox is it nicely highlights your tags so you can see them, which is rather cool. And we can't actually edit this though, which is a bit of a pain. Now you'll see I've got a brief annotation there saying that this is a basic web page. It will show nothing on the page, and actually, as you can see, it doesn't show anything on the page. So what we can do is, I'm going to explain everything. First off, HTML works on the basis of tags. Now a tag, what is a tag? Well, I'm just going to close this. I'm going to open up a fresh notepad, and here we will see what a tag is. Excuse the phone ringing in the background. A tag, anyway. A tag. Tags are in between things like that. Quite basic and simple. So you can see a basic tag there. So what we're going to do is, this tag actually does nothing. If I was to save this, it would do absolutely nothing. So I'm going to save this as a. By the way, you do this in Notepad. And what we're going to do is I'm going to save it as all files, and I'm going to call it test. But you have to put either HTML or HTML on the end. That's got to be its extension. You have to make sure it's all files. Now if I go back to my folder, you'll see that test has come up because that's where I've saved it to. So let's just open up this test document as a web page now. Because it loads up and we can see there's brackets. That's because we've not actually defined our tag as anything. So we need to actually define first of all that this is a HTML document. So what we'll do is we go HTML. Now that is the HTML tag, i.e. saying that the source below is HTML, treat it as such. I'm going to make it capitals though. It makes no difference to how it runs. It does, however, make a difference to how I can view the text, and if I get a bug in my actual website, I can sift through and I can see the tags and they stand out more. So it helps when it comes to debugging. Now for most tags you need to close them, and to do this you put in the same code pretty much. That's it. So HTML again, but this time we put a / before our HTML. So this tag here opens HTML, this tag closes HTML. Now websites are built up of headers and bodies mainly. There are other sections which we're not going to look into just at this moment in time. We're just going to have a look at headers and the body. So again we're going to have another tag, head, and then we're going to close the head like so. Then we're going to have a body, and then we're going to close the body. So the body tag, like so. So we have an open head, a closed head, an open body, a closed body, all within the HTML. Now you will see, I'm not going to save this anymore, but you'll see that if I open my basic structure website and click on view and source, you'll see that that's pretty much what I had before. Open HTML, open head, closed head, open body, closed body, end HTML. And that is really the basic structure of a website, and we'll look into it in more detail in the next tutorial.